Let's talk about this notion of high corporate pricing. In the health and fitness industry, this is something that I come across and have come across again and again and again. And it's starting to confuse me a little bit. I see these ads, I see these promotions, I see coaches promoting their service, promoting what they do. And within that promotion, within that offering, they bring up this idea about, don't pay high corporate pricing. Do this service, sign up for personal training or whatever it is without the high corporate pricing. And the first instinct within me is, how is this impacting the industry as a whole? So one of my primary focuses, one of the things that I'm now really passionate about impacting, is the standard within this industry. This industry of health and fitness has given me a lot over the years. It's challenged me immensely over the years. It's provided me the means to provide for myself and for my family, and it's constantly evolved my life, and it's constantly allowed me to dig deeper into myself and figure out more about myself. And so when I see something like a statement around sign up for this without the high corporate pricing, it really makes me realize why this industry is still struggling to provide lifestyle ability, the ability for coaches to live their life and earn a living wage, if not more. Because when coaches are still promoting this idea of low price offerings, low ticket, low price point, all of these services, don't pay that high corporate pricing, come over here and do it for cheap, we're not elevating this industry. Now, yes, there is a demographic and a place for lower cost. And I will be the first to say always that you need to figure out who you're serving. And so if your audience, if your demographic that you are looking to serve, that you are looking to provide value for, is one that you want to target and help those that don't have a lot of disposable income for themselves, great, fantastic. Create a service offering for that. However, don't take away from the ability of this industry to grow and to professionalize. I think there is a onus on all coaches, all health and fitness professionals within the health and fitness industry to have an aspect of what they do be focused on how they can improve and continue to professionalize this industry. Because this industry is still viewed upon as just sort of something you can do on the side. How many coaches still are just part-time coaches because they're not able to make a full-time income, not able to make a full-time salary working in this industry? And that's a problem when we're constantly getting lost in price, when we're constantly trying to downplay this idea of price and high corporate pricing. My facilities are not a big global corporate company. However, we charge a premium price because we provide a high level, high value service. And that price has increased over time. And this is something that I also, second kind of area that I always kind of dig into, and I see it with coaches that I work with, that they are hesitant to increase their price. They feel like they have to charge just a low price. And this was me early on in my career. I always go back to the story where there was one client that I worked with where after paying rent for the facility I was using and putting in all the other overhead costs that I had to facilitate what I was doing, I made $4 an hour working for this client, training this client, because I didn't understand the value. I didn't understand price. I didn't understand what I was providing and how my thought process around price was impacting those decisions and how that was influencing the industry, right? The more that we continue just to go down this path of trying to lowball everyone else around us just to pull in people, that's not sustainable. And that's not going to help the industry grow. Now, I'm not saying that we all need to be charging this high amount. Like I say, we all have our demographics that we serve. We all have those people that we serve best. But when the dialogue and the communication is built around, don't pay this, you're doing yourself a disservice, which is another layer to all of this, in that those coaches that utilize that framework of don't pay high corporate pricing, they're doing themselves a disservice as well. Because the psychology of that is someone coming to them is already perceiving their service as lower value. Because they're reading, don't pay high corporate pricing. Okay, cool, so you're cheap. You're not high corporate pricing, you're cheap pricing. So they're already considering your service low value, which means it's not considered in their life to be of value in an impactful way. It's something that they'll be able to afford and they can do it and they can leave it easy. But when it's of value, whether it's very expensive or moderately expensive, when it's of value to them, the price doesn't really matter. This comes back to an idea of price is never the problem. You're just talking to the wrong people. If you're feeling that you're always having to say, I don't pay high corporate pricing, well, then you're talking to the wrong people. The story you're telling, the impact you're looking to create for a specific demographic, if you're looking to work with those people that wouldn't pay or couldn't pay or won't pay a certain price point in your mind, then speak to those people in the sense of just what they're looking to get out of it, the impact they're looking to have from it. Speak to that. And consider how your communication, your way of promoting what you do, consider how it's impacting the industry. And I guess that's sort of the fundamental part about all of this and why this kind of fires me up is that I want to challenge every coach, including myself. As much as I don't do a lot of volume of coaching anymore, I'm very specific with the amount of coaching that I do anymore on the floor. I coach more in the business realm now than I do on the floor with health and fitness. But I challenge every coach to consider how they communicate their services, how that is impacting the industry as a whole. Are you pushing the needle forward to professionalize the industry more? Are you helping to, as Sean Pastuch says with Active Life, are you helping to bridge the gap between healthcare and fitness? Are we helping to bridge that gap? In your day-to-day promotions of what you do and in your discussions with potential clients and prospects, is how you talk about what you do helping them to see this industry as important, valuable, and on the same level, if not more valuable to them than, say, their doctor? Not discrediting doctors, not going down that path, but just simply in the sense of their day-to-day life impact that this can have. Are you creating a perception and a understanding and an impact within them that this industry is of value to them, and that spending money within this industry, especially in the fitness realm, is of immense value and it's professional. Yes, there's high corporate pricing in certain regards. And the reason they do that is because who they serve. Those corporate entities have a plan and a marketing structure and a focus to serve an audience that will pay those prices. Just like I served an audience that was willing to pay a very low cost when I first started, to the point that I made $4 a session. $4. I now charge up to $400 for services, just with me one-on-one. And that's not high corporate pricing. That is understanding who I'm looking to serve and the impact that I can provide, the value that I can provide through years of doing this, through years of seeing results and helping people get to a certain place and a certain result, a certain change of self. That's what's led me to be able to charge a certain price and have that association. However, throughout that entire process, there was never a point where it was, oh, come to me because that person's charging more and you don't want to pay that much. You can get the same with me for less. Again, I want to challenge you in that direction that you're doing is not going to serve you long term, because everyone's going to perceive your service as less valuable, which means it's more disposable, which means they can just drop it more easily because they don't see it as a value. And in doing that, the impact that has also psychologically on them for the industry is they don't see the industry as having a high value still. It serves a purpose. They go there, get a good workout in, cool, it serves a purpose in that sense, but they don't view it the same. Why are people always willing to go see practitioners that, do a great job working on a table or whatever else, recovering from an injury? Easy to go do that because they view that as a higher professional level. Meanwhile, ourselves as coaches, yourself as a coach in this industry, you may spend 5 times as much time with those individuals, meaning you have that much more opportunity to impact their life and change their life and help them, guide them to a better self. But they don't view it the same. They don't view it as professional as the others. So again, I guess this is more of a challenge to those of you that are in this industry. How is what you're doing on a day-to-day basis improving and impacting the professionalism of this industry? Or any industry, service-based industry that you're in. I guess consider that if you're not a coach or health and fitness professional even. How is what you're doing on a day-to-day basis impacting and professionalizing your industry even more? What does that look like? So I want you to keep that in your mind. This is something that I've seen this pop up more and more again, and communication-wise, and it fires me up because it's doing a disservice to all of us, including those coaches that use that as a marketing tool. It's doing a disservice to this industry. And if we want to have this industry be respected, if you want to be even more respected as a coach and feel like you can make an income that is sustainable for life as a coach, that you can sustain and build wealth as a coach, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to make a high level of income in this industry. Then start considering how you're communicating about your industry, intentionally or subtly. You can still charge a lower price if that audience that you're looking to serve falls into that category. However, you can do that in a way that doesn't negatively impact the industry from a professional standpoint and viewpoint. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you coaches out there how this resonates with you, where you may disagree with me on it. Let's open up this dialogue a little bit more about this idea of price and high corporate pricing. Let me know. Level up.